I'm going to share.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the home front. This is Evan. I'm going to do the introduction today. This is Evan Spencer, realtor extraordinaire. Just bragging on myself a little bit. This is my co-host, Krista.
I'm the co-host today.
She's the co-host today, Krista Campbell.
Buyer's agent with Waters International. Thank you guys for joining us on episode 7.
Episode 7. We're just gonna roll with it. If not, don't be mad.
I'll fix it if it's not episode 7. But last week we had to take a break because I had a little bit of a cold.
Yes.
So thank you guys
We're
for
glad
joining.
that Krista's feeling a lot better.
Thank you.
But thanks for reminding me on the scoot.
So
my distance a little
make
bit.
sure. Thank you for joining. Please, if you find this beneficial, please share this out. You never know who could benefit from this information.
Share the
Steve
stream.
is on. Greg is
Thanks,
on.
Greg.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do a show every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time to talk about different topics of real estate. This morning we're going to talk about the top mistakes that first-time homebuyers make. We're in the Austin area, as you can see our lovely Austin sign behind us.
Right.
And we talk about not just the Austin market, but real estate in general. But a lot of the topics may apply specific to this market because it's a very unique market. Thank you, Precious, for joining this morning. Any kind of sharing, likes, and loves will really help us. Please interact with us. We like to know what you guys are thinking. If you have any questions, we want to make this interactive and fun. So let us know how things, or what you think, and if you have any questions. Evan will start us off with the top mistake that first-time homebuyers make.
All right. So, guys, the number one mistake we typically see that first home buyers make is not accounting for closing costs. And what exactly are
closing costs? Evan?
That's a great question, Krista. So it's on top of you guys' down payment. There's these things called closing costs that will be due at closing. It's a sum of fees by the lender, by the title company. Sometimes there's like a brokerage fee as well too included in that, and they'll also include some of your proration of taxes as well as your insurance for the year, and that's kind of what makes up you guys' closing costs. So you guys want to be prepared for that, so you're not surprised. There is still money on top of the down payment involved in this process, guys.
Thank you for joining, Bradley. How are you doing today? Okay, so closing costs averages, I always tell people give or take a little bit, about 3% of your sales price. So that gives you an idea. If you're going to spend $100,000, what your closing costs would be. You can estimate that at about 3%. It could be more, it could be less. I mean, there's variables that go into that, but roughly just to give you an idea of how much you need to have in savings. Start there. It can be worked into the loan. We can ask the seller for closing cost concessions. Mm-hmm. We can also take the price of the house up to help, reduce what's your out-of-pocket cost. But we have to make sure it appraises. So there's a lot of factors that goes into it. So any amount of money that you can save on top of your down payment, if you have one, would be helpful to you negotiating the purchase of your new house.
Got it. And a good point that Krista pointed out. When you guys do hire a realtor, it's part of our job to help you guys pay the least amount for the house and to help negotiate getting the closing costs paid or all of it paid or some of it
or any of the above.
Yeah. So, and the only way to guys to know for sure what your exact closing costs would be is to speak with the lender.
Exactly. I always get, when we first go under contract or right before, I sit down with my clients and we'll do a buyer consultation. Thank you for the likes. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
please
share
the stream.
Let us know where you're joining from, and if you have any questions.
Did we give Bradley a shout out?
Yes.
Hey, Bradley.
Yes. How are you doing, Bradley? No, what we do, I sit down with my clients when the first time we meet, and we'll go over this little Monopoly board that I have. Basically, it helps you understand what to expect during the home buying process. And closing costs is one of those costs that I make sure that you understand and that you have a picture of what you're going to be paying for at what time in the process. And I want to make sure that you, as a first-time home buyer, have the funds available. I don't want to go take you out to houses and you're like, hold on, I don't have that money. Then whose fault is it? It becomes my fault because I didn't inform you. I'm the expert. I'm supposed to know. So I want to sit down with you. I don't want to run out and show you a house if you're a first-time home buyer. I want to sit down with you for about 20 minutes and go over the process so you have a big picture of the whole, how everything is going to go. But I would say the number 2, and Evan may or may not agree with me, is not hiring a realtor.
Okay.
A lot of people think I'm going to save money by not hiring a realtor, when in reality, you know, the seller has already negotiated our commission for you. So it's a free service. Why wouldn't you hire someone who knows the process, who knows what to expect, and who can help you get a lower price? David, thank you for joining.
Thank you, David.
Pretty much looking.
She said you looking super fly.
Oh, thank you. I think I look a hot mess today, but I appreciate the love. Thank you.
I look good.
But no, you need to hire a realtor, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. I had someone tell me the other day, well, I'm going to hire a lawyer. Well, you're spending money on a lawyer to draft up the offer when a realtor has already been pre-negotiated for you to do that for free. Doesn't make any sense. You're not really saving that much money by hiring a lawyer to do it for you. I mean, it's obviously up to you if you want to hire a lawyer to review your documents and things, but I'm just saying not hiring a realtor to save costs for you is not really, it's not helping you. You get what you pay for. So if you don't want to hire a realtor, you're a first-time home buyer, you think you're going to save money, you could end up really, it could cost you in the end because you don't know the questions to ask, you don't know the inspections to have. Unless you've been through the classes, then you know how to do all that. I mean, they say, my theory is I don't want some non-surgeon performing surgery on me, so why would you not have an expert help you? We're in this every day. We know what market values are. Just saying.
Right. And a good point that Krista pointed out, especially when I meet first-time home buyers, just because you guys see a price listed on Trulia or Zillow does not mean that house, that's the value of the house, guys. Hiring an expert, we know the trends, guys. We know what houses go for, how quickly they typically sell.
Multiple offers.
And how to deal with that situation, guys, as well. So the benefit of hiring a realtor, guys, is it's going to save you time, it's going to save you a headache, and it's going to save you money.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just going to give you a little story. I've had clients that tell me that they've purchased in other areas, and they think, I'm going to go in and save myself money, $20,000 below the list price. Good deal. But if you're in multiple offers, that's not going to help you get anywhere. You have to know how to deal with that particular market. So using someone that works in that market every day, that's what they do. They're going to be able to guide you. And I always tell my clients, if this is the house you want, I'm going to structure our offer a little bit different than if we're in, it's just you. Because I'm going to try and save you money whichever way I can. But if you say, Krista, this is the house, then I'm going to write a strong offer. It's going to probably cost you, the buyer, a little bit more because you're up against competition. So, I mean, it's just having the market knowledge and understanding the market that you're in, especially this market. We have a lot coming here, and there's a lot of competition. A lot of people are relocating here per day. Houses go in a day. So. Yeah.
And just this morning, guys, I checked. We had 125 new listings come on the market, and there's like over 200 pending. That's just letting you guys know there's demand out there. People...
They're ready. Hours?
They're ready to go. Well, in 24 hours.
Yeah, last 24 hours.
So, the third thing, the biggest mistake first-time home buyers make is they think there's such thing as the perfect house. There's no such thing as the perfect house, guys. Just to give you a heads up, typically what we find is the first-time home buyers, you guys usually stay in the home for anywhere from like 3 to 5 years. And then you usually end up selling that house, make a little bit of a profit, and then you upgrade to the next home. So I just want you guys to just keep in mind that, this is the first house that we're starting off with, and that, you're not going to have it, well, typically you guys don't have it forever. So just kind of just keep that in mind. Okay, guys.
I would agree. I mean, there's no perfect house. Also, what I feel like goes hand in hand with that is trying to spend everything that you're qualified for. I always tell my clients there's an amount that you're pre-qualified for, and then there's an amount that you're comfortable paying. You need to know the difference in the mortgages on those, because a lot of times you're going to be well below what you're qualified for, because you want to keep your monthly mortgage at a certain amount. So with that being said, sitting down with your realtor that you hired, going over what you really need to have and what, having a realistic expectation. You're going to have what we talked about before. The 3 things that are important are location, price point, and space. And you're going to get probably 2 of the 3, figuring out which is the most important for you, and then looking at that and determining what you can live without. It like you said, 3 to 5 years. I thought I was going to stay in my house the first house I bought, my forever home, and I'm here. So you're not going to. You're going to probably go through a few houses. You're going to outgrow the first house pretty quickly, especially if you get married and have a family and you start having kids. It's okay. You're going to move.
You got empty nesters too.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So just understanding that you just find a house that you can live with and make it your own and be comfortable in.
Got it. Kristen, number 4?
I would say... maybe it's not in order. I would say number 1 and number 2 were definitely the top 2, but otherwise now we're just kind of naming off ones, not in any specific order. But lying to your loan officer because you don't really want to be, you think that you're maybe embarrassed of your credit situation or whatever. Hi, Dion. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Dion.
Please share this out.
Thank you for everybody tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, lying to your loan officer. They're going to find out, and they're probably going to share that information with your realtor. So just be honest. We can help you get into the home. Don't be ashamed of your situation. Life happens. And if you don't tell us the truth, what could happen is it could actually cost you money. I've had it happen, probably not on purpose, but leaving important details out. My clients have sometimes left important details out, like this is our tax returns, and they hadn't filed their taxes. It was just what they were planning to submit, got all the way to the end of the deal through inspections, appraisals, everything, and then no house because you hadn't filed your tax return. So it happens, but you have to be honest, and nobody knows that until the end when they're pulling and verifying documents. So it looks bad on everybody, and even if it was an accidental mistake or a misunderstanding, just be honest, have a realistic conversation with your loan officer and your realtor, and then they can really help you achieve your goals. But don't try to hide things because you're embarrassed. It doesn't help anyone.
All right, good point, Kristen. I'll say kind of like my last point, guys, is probably I'll say it's top 3. I see a lot of people go out and start to look at homes before you guys actually know what your monthly payments will look like. I've taken plenty of people out, and they're like, oh, what's we go to the house and they ask me what the monthly payment is on the house we're looking at, and then we gotta go through a thing and explain to them. Sometimes actually I ran into a situation where the person, they could actually afford more than the house that we were actually in. That was pretty fun, but we did waste some time, looking at the wrong houses, guys. So my recommendation and Chris's recommendation is always get pre-qualified first before you guys go out looking for the home. Know exactly what your monthly payments will look like, including the taxes and the insurance, and also getting an estimate of what the closing costs would be, so that way we're confident and feel comfortable moving forward.
And I would say that goes along with being organized and prepared, because the first step should be interviewing your realtor, quite honestly, because a good realtor is going to have the resources and it's going to guide you and strategize with you on which way to go. You may not be ready today, but if you think you're going to be ready in 6 months or a year, why not just sit down with someone now? Why wait until the last minute? Because then you're not preparing yourself or organizing yourself. You don't know what documents you need. You don't know how much money you need. You don't know how much house you can afford. How in the world are you going to buy a house when you don't have any of that information? It's just critical and important for you to sit down with someone and have that conversation. It's a 20-minute conversation. It's very easy to listen and take notes. I mean, it's like going to school and getting a license in becoming a realtor. You've got to get prepared. You've got to get the education. So take the time and do it. The earlier, the better. then you can meet that goal, the American dream of owning a home.
It is the American dream of owning a home. But pretty much, guys, those are our biggest mistakes that we normally see with first-time home buyers. Number one is not knowing what closing costs are, or how much that could even be. So just keep in mind, guys, that there's more costs involved than just a down payment, but your realtor can help negotiate closing costs for you. Number two, like Krista talked about, is just not hiring a realtor in the first place. You guys are just trying to go at it on your own, and when you guys do speak with these listing agents, just keep in mind that they do have a signed agreement to work with that seller, and anything that you do disclose to them, they will disclose to their seller and use it,
reduces your negotiation power.
Yeah, exactly.
Number three was, I think, did we talk about?
Oh yeah, number three.
No, there's no perfect house.
Yeah, there's no perfect house.
Understanding reality versus what you want and making the trade-offs that are acceptable to the market will actually be able to get you into the house. Not having an unrealistic picture of what's out there and what you're going to pay is just going to frustrate you.
Got it. And just keep in mind, guys, like we said before, usually people stay in their first house about 3 to 5 years, sell it, make a profit, and then move on to the next one. So just keep that in mind as you're buying your first house.
We said number 4 was lying or having a misunderstanding of what things are. Don't lie to your realtor. Don't lie to your loan officer, either on purpose or accidentally. Tell them what's going on. Tell them your situation. Have a realistic conversation with them, and they're not going to judge you. They're trying to help you meet your goals, and you consult with experts in the field to do that.
Got it.
And number 5 is not being prepared / not understanding what your mortgage payment is going to be.
Right.
You can't go look at a house and you think you've run some number online. A lot of the time, the online mortgage calculators only calculate principal and interest. And here in Texas, you have something called taxes, which are one of the highest states in the country. So you have to understand, because that could add $500 or $600 a month onto your payment, which is a lot.
Got
I
it.
mean, if you're talking like $30 or $40, it's probably minimal, but here it is not going to be $30 or $40. We have a high tax rate, anywhere usually averaging between 2 and 3%. So think about that. A couple $100 a month is going to make a major dent in your mortgage payment. So you really need to have a good understanding of everything before you go out getting frustrated, finding the right house, and then realizing that it's too much house.
Right. That's a good point to make, Krista. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We do this show for you guys. We're both realtors here in Texas. Just wanted to give you guys some inside information so that way you guys feel better prepared when you guys go out and look for your home. And just like Krista said, whether you guys are ready, now, 6 months from now, could be a year from now, could be 2 years from now, sit down, let's meet, and let's have a conversation about how we can help you guys get the home in the time frame that you're looking to do it. This is Evan signing out. Krista,
Don't forget your spirit fingers.
She's signing out. And you guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.